Hello. Um, just give me a second here. Yeah. Okay. So, I just had a realization of sorts. So, like, you know how, like, I personally experience this a lot, where it's like I'm so like in my head, like it's like metacognition going on, where like I'm thinking of the thinking. And because of all the thinking, you think that you're smart. You're so fucking smart. You know what's up. And like you get it better than others. And what happens afterwards? Is that you now think that like you are the only one who gets it that way, and everyone else is fucking stupid. That's what I think personally. Okay, like I get it so well, and other people just don't get it at all, and that's why I'm lonely because nobody can understand me. Fuck that. I have a realization right now, guys. Like, just because you can think, just because you're conscious, just because you are capable or able to perceive your own thoughts, like think of the thinking. Just because you can just because you can do that, it doesn't mean that you have to do it, right? Like, hear me out. So, just because you can do it, it doesn't mean that you have to do it. Why do you think that everything has to go your way? And maybe it's like stoicism coming on or something like that, but like really, just because you can understand things, just because you can conceptualize them, just because you are aware of what's going on, why do you think that these things should happen the way you want them to happen? Right? Okay, nobody gets you. So be it then. Like, wouldn't ignorance be bliss here? You would not even be able to of metacognition. You wouldn't think of the thoughts, and you would spend more time in reality. And maybe instead of sitting at home, being depressed, you would go out and have fun with your silly friends. And you would not have time for this bullshit digesting your own fucking food all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you will not have time for this masturbation. And I'm oscillating between the two. Like, back in the day, a couple years ago, I would say, I was really big into thinking. I thought that if I think enough, I'll get it. I don't think I will. Because the more you think, the less you act, right? And life is not about thinking, actually. Thinking is like, it's like a bell and a whistle, It's like a cherry on top. But the best thing we can do is act, I think. Because a lion doesn't think of an antelope. He just fucking gets it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, whatever. Animals, yeah, they are animals. These are not animals, whatever. Guys, it's not that deep, I think. And maybe partially what I'm talking here, I'm trying to explain to myself. Because, again, as I said, I keep oscillating between the two. Some days I'm lucky to be alive. Everything is great. I'm just doing my stuff, just doing physical stuff, and I'm really happy. Some days I'm in the depths, I'm in the fucking trenches battling my own brain. I feel so lonely sometimes. Like, I feel like nobody gets me. Nobody ever will get me. Nobody will ever understand me for who I am. They will not witness me. And I want to be witnessed. I learned how to see myself of sorts. But that's not enough for us as human beings. We want to be witnessed by the other people. That's why we are like existing. Or not, better say, that's a proof of us existing, right? Because if there is nobody to vouch that you are, who will believe you? Like, does it make sense here? Maybe too abstract, but like, it's a thing that we need, we desperately crave. And a lot of times I'm just trying to make my way out of my own head. Yeah, sure, it's still lonely, and I've been coping for a while now. Like, oh, nobody gets it, and nobody gets it anyway. I don't need anyone. I have to love myself. I will have to. I can do better myself. I don't need other people to tell me what to do. I'm self-sufficient. I can depend on only myself. It's like all this stuff, and it's reasonable. It has merit. It has a rational seed in it. The problem is, it's not all. It's not all. And the funniest part is that you can function without it. If you are witnessed by other people, no matter how miserable your life is, I feel like you are still a part of a group. You're still a part of the group. And we can debate, we can have another discussion about how this endless push and pull between individuality and group mentality. And this is something I've been wrestling for a long time myself. But I think that we as humans have evolved to live in society, in groups. So hence, this is the only this factory setting that we have. Individuality is a bell and a whistle. It's like a bug and a feature. It's a cool whip. What the fuck? Why did I say that? Right? It's like it's something cool that you also have. It's like, I don't know, like an internet connection on your phone. Yeah, whatever. You get it. What I'm saying, right? It's like it's an add-on. I feel like to live a fulfilling life, you don't need all this bullshit thinking. Genuinely, like, how much thinking do you need to plant a tree? How much thinking do you need to do mundane daily tasks, to do your work? To bring benefit to society. Like, how much how much do you have to think about yourself and your place in the world, and your own struggles, because we are privileged to be able to even speak about our own trauma and problems and issues, because people 200 years ago, they wouldn't even believe what we are having right now, And I mean, just because they didn't have it, it doesn't mean that we have to be okay, fine. Just because other people didn't have it, it doesn't mean all of a sudden that we have to be so thankful. For us, this is normal. We are kids of internet. Internet for us is normal as well. I don't have to pray to God every day. Thank you for internet. Yes, but also perspective helps, in my opinion. This is one of the points that helps me sometimes, not always, but sometimes, that perspective helps. That maybe a lot of our problems, they're real, but some of them are maybe kind of, how do I say, they're made worse because of us having so much free time to think. And think and think and think, because after a certain point, thinking brings diminishing returns, right? After a certain point, thinking becomes poisonous, toxic. It's actually setting you back, because after a certain point, no matter how much you're gonna think about the problem, it's not gonna solve until you will go and solve it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, I feel like maybe sometimes we just don't need to think at all, and that's my realization. And I know it's harder, it's easier to say than to do, and I certainly am not great at that. You know what I mean? I'm certainly not a best person to tell you, but at least I'm rehearsing it in front of you. Maybe I'll also learn. Maybe I'll also grow. Maybe I'll also understand it. Because, I mean, I know the words, right? They are coming from somewhere, because I'm not thinking, I'm just speaking, and it comes from somewhere. I didn't write it. I didn't, I'm sure you can tell that I didn't write it, because it's all over the place. But I'm just saying that I don't even know technically what I'm speaking, because I'm just speaking, and it's just coming out of somewhere. Okay? I don't know where it's coming from, but it's coming from somewhere. And it's better come so that, at least it's spoken, and maybe... because I heard it myself while I'm speaking, I'll understand it also. Yeah. All right. One more time for the ones in the back, and for myself as well. And my muscles are twitching. Anyway, so the thing is, we think that thinking is essential. And while it is a lot of times, it is also useless a lot of times. Because after a certain point, thinking brings diminishing returns. And sometimes just by doing stuff and noticing that you didn't use your head for a long time, you didn't feel sad, you didn't feel happy, you didn't feel anything. You were just there, doing stuff. And maybe that's the whole point, Maybe just to do stuff is the point. Thinking and this like consciousness and whatever process in our heads, this is just like a cherry on top again, right? This is something that we also can do. We can philosophize, we can intellectualize stuff. We can, create ideas out of thin air. We can do that. But also somebody has to sow the seeds, Somebody has to, I don't know, teach the kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody has to still do stuff. It's not only thinking. So my proposition here, because usually I don't do propositions, right? Because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But now this is my proposition to you and to me. Beginning of this year, I decided to do this thing which is called retard maxing. And while the term might be offensive to some, I fully stand by it, and you will have to too. Because you don't need to think a lot to do a lot. And this is something that I take to heart now. Thinking about stuff being done is not gonna get it done. You just have to fucking do it, So, same way, if you feel sad, can't invalidate your experience and feelings and emotions. We've all been there. We are there sometimes. Maybe I'll be there tomorrow. Don't take it otherwise. But maybe not just don't be sad, but like, why do you even listen to this thing? You know what I mean? Just because you are there doesn't mean it's true. Just because this head is the only thing that you've had in your life. You haven't been in other heads. Right? You haven't been in other heads. You haven't been in other people's minds, right? So why do you think that your mind is all of a sudden so true? It's so objective, right? Right? So it's not subjective, right? Reality. Why do you think it's real? Why do you think it's true? Why do you think whatever this thing tells you has to be taken to heart? Why? Maybe this thing is lying to you. Maybe this thing was programmed by whoever raised you and your surroundings to fuck with you forever now. This thing is not smart. Your head is not smart at all. I don't believe that for a second. Head is so fucking stupid. I don't know, brain or whatever it is. Because do you understand that who you are really is not even who you are? It's just a set of fucking patterns and things that you've learned growing up. All you are is stolen and borrowed from other people, from other situations, from the world around you. This is not who you are, who you think you are, is just a bazillion fucking small things that are not yours, technically. Right? So what makes you think that all your thoughts are yours? No, they aren't. We don't even know how brain works, dude. What the fuck does make... how do you even think that... Oh, this thought tells me something. No, it doesn't. Your brain is stupid. Your brain is retarded. It just does stuff. Why do you have to believe it? You don't. Just don't believe it. You have to do what you have to do. You want to become a president of the United States? Don't listen to this fucking thing, because it's gonna tell you are not worthy, you're not good, you suck, poo. Don't listen. Why would you listen? Because if all your life you were shat on, you were shunned, you were pressed, you were upset, you were not valued, not feeling unworthy, what makes you think all of a sudden that by setting such a big goal your mentality will change in a second and you will think that you are worthy now all of a sudden? It's not going to change. Your thinking and your thought process and all your fucking, whatever they are, synapses and whatever the fuck that is in your head, they're not going to change overnight. The only thing that changes your shit here is action, right? If you're going to cook yourself a meal every day, a good meal, then you'll be like, oh my God, I love myself enough to cook myself a good meal. I value myself enough to make me feed my own stomach, not with some bullshit retarded food, but like with genuinely nutritious, balanced meal. I go to bed at 10:30 p.m. I value myself enough to go to bed at 10:30 p.m. Who the fuck goes to bed at 10:30 p.m.? Nobody. But you need to do that in order to show yourself, in order to rest, right? Resting is you telling your body that you are fine, you're okay, you're enough. Rest. You deserve it, right? It's like, if people didn't tell you, who's gonna tell you now? You have to do it now, not tell. Saying doesn't do shit now. Talking doesn't solve anything now. You are a big boy now. Talking to yourself is useless. It's worthless. Even this is like more of sorts, is like kind of masturbation, as I've said before. The only thing that's actually making sense is you just going to bed and waking up early. Repeatedly, you know? Your brain is stupid. It needs routine. You need to just tell it what to do, and then you will do it. You cannot wait for your brain to generate some crazy cool stuff. It won't. It won't. If you're miserable your whole life, what makes you think it will all of a sudden decide to switch? It won't. You have to take a decision to stop being that and be now this. And to be that, you have to act like that. And if you act like that, then you'll become that. It's simple as that, bro. Anyway, whatever. See you guys.